Hello and welcome to San Salvador, El Salvador, as we get set for FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 Central American and Caribbean pre-qualifier action. Good evening, everybody. My name is Carlin Gay. We'll get set to watch Costa Rica take on Guyana here in this one. The final game for Guyana, the second to last game for Costa Rica. Both teams vying for an opportunity to move to the second round of pre-qualification here for the 2023 FIBA Basketball World Cup. There you see the 5 on the floor for Guyana and Costa Rica. Guyana will be wearing the road green uniforms. Costa Rica in the home white. Conejo on the way with a 3, no good, pulled down by Delroy James. This is going to be the final game here this weekend for Guyana. They have had a struggle so far in this tournament. 0-3. They lost a heartbreaker just yesterday to the host El Salvador with a chance at the end of the game. Everything to play for. The top 3 teams here from El Salvador, 3 of the top 5, will end up moving to the second round of qualification, and a loss here will eliminate Guyana. A win here keeps them in the mix. Of course, they will need some help along the way. Jeffrey Anderson gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. He missed the first. On the other end, Costa Rica was off yesterday. They are coming off a win, a 20-point blowout win over the host El Salvador on Friday. And a win tonight against Guyana will put them in prime position to be one of those top 3 teams that do move on to the second round of pre-qualification in July. So big game for both teams. Of course, Guyana still with all to play for. They must win here to stay alive. Costa Rica as well. A win here, and they'll put themselves one step closer to punching that ticket to the second round in July. So far, no score, both sides. Again, Costa Rica in the home whites, Guyana in the road green. If you're Guyana, you might be tired based off of the 4 games now. This is the 4th game in 4 days that they will be playing. Tired legs may play a factor. Let's see how that affects them, but they got to leave it all out on the floor, with this being the final game here in El Salvador, knowing that they need a win to stay alive and hope that they do get some help along the way to move on. Costa Rica on the other end, coming off the off day. Let's see how they work their rotation and if that has made a difference to them. Of course, the blowout win on Friday, they had the opportunity to rest players a little bit more than probably they were used to, as that 3 cashed in there by George Letford. That's the first 3 points of the game for Costa Rica. Here's Delroy James. A double comes. Good ball movement. Israel Yah. He was rejected inside by Anderson, and good energy to start defensively for Costa Rica. Isaac Caneo. Good hesitation dribble. Now kicks out. Anderson. The ball movement. The extra pass. 3 on the way. Cashed in. Daniel Sheedon knocking down the triple. 6-0 run to start the game for Costa Rica, and it started on this end of the floor. They're locking in defensively, folks. Boval. There's Stanton Rose. Now James. James was fouled as he was trying to penetrate. Well, Delroy James hasn't had any wins to show for his effort, but he has had a fantastic tournament thus far. One of the most efficient players here in El Salvador. Also leading the tournament so far with 6 assists per game. He was incredible in the loss to El Salvador just last night. Had 25 points, 5 assists. Stanton Rose, of course, with the double-double of 19 and 10 in the loss. They just came up short. They had a chance to win it at the buzzer, but their 3-point opportunity just did not fall. They also had a 13-point lead to start the 4th in yesterday's game. Let's see if they do get the lead tonight, if they're able to hold on to it. There's their first 2 of the night, and that's Israel Yah. puts an end to the 6-0 run that started the game for Costa Rica. They have 2 threes so far. Sheedon, who has the ball now, knocked one down. Now here's Canale. Oh, Canale with the ankle breaker. The 3 on the way. Left it short. Boy, that was almost a highlight. And Canale comes up with the steal. He'll lay it in. At least that Canale could not knock down the triple off the highlight reel ankle breaker. But comes up with the steal and lays it up and in. And you can just feel the energy now for Costa Rica. They just have a little bit more mojo than Guyana has started the game with. A great pass there by James, and Israel Yah is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. Yah's first free throw is good. He is all 3 points so far for Guyana. Yah's been quiet for the Guyanese. He's only trying to reach around. Arias, was posting up down low. We side out Costa Rica basketball. 8-4 is your score. Anthony Moe had been starting for Guyana. He's not starting tonight. He had been terrific in this tournament for the Guyanese. 15 points, 6 rebounds on average. I'll miss his presence tonight. Here's James on the drive. Euro step. Can't get it to go. Yah almost came up with the extra possession. They're going to say last touch there by Guyana, and we'll go the other way. Referees want to discuss something here. That message is over to Coach Hercules for Guyana. I think he was jawing a little too much with the officials. Maybe arguing for a foul call that did not come. Trying to step up for his players. Anderson off the curl. Anderson down low. Forces his way up and in. Jeffney Anderson getting inside, and without Mo, there's not much size inside for Guyana. That's something Costa Rica could definitely take advantage of down low. Rose, the pull-up off the rhythm dribble. Can't get it to go. Ball ricochets over to Conejo. Here's Letford. Letford directing traffic. Sheedon inside. Arias. His skyhook left it way short. And James ahead to Bovo. Great pass. Delroy James finding his man, and that cuts the lead to just 6. James leading the tournament in dimes with 6 per game. Another steal here for Guyana. And after the slow start, the Guyanese now look like they're back in the game. That 3-point shot by Adams, no good. Probably an ill-advised shot there, a little too quick. And now Guyana back on defense. Anderson. Letford spinning in the lane. Gorgeous move, but no finish. Rose. Chance for easy offense here for Guyana. It's James, straightaway 3. Can't get it to go. Tapped up. They say last touch by Costa Rica will stay here. Guyana already crashing the glass. 9 rebounds so far in the early going. Yah. Got it. A good-looking jump shot there by Izzy Yah, and he has 6 already. A good sign, trying to replace the offense that Anthony Moe has given Guyana so far in this tournament. They'll also have to do it on the defensive end as well. James comes up with the steal. Fast break opportunity. Rose. Bovell counted, and the foul. So after the slow start, Guyana with a little bit pep in their step now. Bovell will toe the line with a chance to reduce the lead to just 1. It was a 6-0 run to start the game for Costa Rica. And now Guyana has woken up and come to play here midway through the first quarter. Bovell's free throw is good. Got the friendly roll. He has 5, halfway to his average here in the tournament. He's averaging 10. 10 points, 4 rebounds. Guyana falling asleep that time defensively. And Letford now has 5. Here's James crossing over. Conejo comes away with the pickpocket. Martinez. Letford! Yaw thought he got a clean block. So did the Guyanese bench here. But the foul is called, and Letford will go to the line for 2. The other 4 teams play tomorrow night. And with a win here, they'll have everything to play for still, or everything to root for tomorrow. A loss will all but eliminate them this evening. Costa Rica, on the other hand, helped themselves huge on Friday night with a big win over the hosts El Salvador. The second time in a row in these pre-qualifiers, back in 2019, of course. 2018, rather, for the 2019 FIBA World Cup pre-qualifiers. They blew El Salvador out by 20. And then on Friday, they blew El Salvador out by that same score, 20 points. So they're in a prime position to be one of the top 3 teams to move on to July. Delroy James slithering his way to the hoop, counted and the foul. James really has been one of the top performers here in El Salvador. He's done it all. When he stays out of foul trouble, he is a problem. 1-point game now. Chance of defense now coming in from the Guyanese bench. There's Sheedon. Letford. They want to go inside. Sheedon trying to post. Now they go on the opposite side of his post opportunity. Alias inside and lays it in with the Euro. Gorgeous move. Bovell will tee up a 3. Can't get it to go. Tapped up, and Bovell somehow comes down with his own rebound. Fresh 14 here for Guyana. Bovell now. Jab step. Now posting up. And James will take it back up. And he'll look to isolate. He has to shoot. He just got it off. Oh, and hits as the shot clock was expiring. A wild shot that falls. Delroy James now up to 5. Maybe a good omen for Guyana. Sheedon bodying his way to the rim. Can't get it to go. And Alias with the cleanup. Leads back to 3. Team Crandon is going to have his hands full trying to guard the much bigger Sheedon. That's a matchup to watch on the post. Meanwhile, Costa Rica now playing a little zone. 3 on the way. Rose can't get it to go. Foul on the floor. Letford is going to pick up the foul there. He has his hands raised, and he's going to go over for a discussion with the official. If there's anyone that could shoot you out of the zone, it is Stanton Rose. He's shooting 50% from 3-point range coming into this game. Has just been an absolute assassin from outside, averaging 5.7 threes here in El Salvador. Delroy James misses the first of 2 free throw attempts. Knocks down the second. James is shooting 76% from the line here in El Salvador. So if you put him on the line, he's going to make you pay. Almost a pickpocket coming up there from Adams. It leads to a 3. No good. Arias with another offensive rebound, and Costa Rica will reset. Sheehan inside. He double clutched for no reason and missed the shot. He'll get it back, though. Good hustle. Martinez for 3. No basket. Will wave it off. The referees, that's a tough play there for Costa Rica. The shot clock was reset inadvertently by the scores table. It shows 5, now 4 seconds. Martinez, he'll put up a 3. Almost banked it in. And Crandon comes down with it. That's a tough sequence there for Costa Rica. The shot clock was reset by accident by the scores table. Martinez hit a 3 that was waved off. They reset the shot clock back to 5, and Costa Rica comes up empty-handed with the possession. James gives it away there. Martinez goes crashing into him, and he'll go to the line for 2 shots here. So with just 4 seconds here to play in the first quarter, it's a foul on Delroy James, a guy that can ill afford to get into any sort of foul trouble for Guyana. And seems to struggle and slow down. 3-point lead for Costa Rica. Chance for Guyana to take the shot here and tie as we go into the break. And that's a foul called. Stanton Rose will go to the line for 3 shots. Horrible, horrible decision there. And Guyana, after starting the game down 6-0, will have an opportunity to head to the quarter break, potentially tied. What a turn of events here. Stanton Rose knocks down the first free throw. The foul was on Arias as Rose hits the second free throw. And we're tied. Shot won't count. It was after the buzzer there by Martinez. And a good response there from Guyana after it looked like they may not have the legs to compete with Costa Rica early on. Costa Rica had all the momentum, jumping out to a 6-0 lead. Some sloppy play on both sides, and then we sort of settled in here at the end of that first quarter, and the score's tied. A good response again from Guyana in their final game. Win here, and they're still alive. A loss all but eliminates them and ruins their chances of getting to the second round of pre-qualifications. There you see some of the statistics on your screen. Ball movement been great so far from Costa Rica, already up to 6 assists. And we'll take a look at some of the leading scorers thus far in what's been a really good contest. Israel Yah, 6 points. Delroy James, 6 points. And Letford, 6 points for Costa Rica. 30 minutes left so far. It's a good one. You're watching the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 Central American and Caribbean pre-qualifiers. When you look at these standings for these pre-qualifiers, Jamaica right now with 5 points. They have 2 wins and a loss. Nicaragua is 2-0. They have 4 points. We'll see them a little later on against hosts El Salvador. And then you have 3 teams locked in with 3 points. 2 of them, in El Salvador and Costa Rica, have a win. Guyana, the only team that is winless here so far in the tournament. They must win this game to give themselves a shot of finishing in the top 3. A loss here, they have no chance of that. There you see the 5 on the floor for Costa Rica and the 5 for Guyana. Of course, Guyana wearing the road green. Costa Rica in the home white. If you're just joining us, Costa Rica had the day off yesterday. They are coming off the big win over El Salvador on Friday by 20 points. They really controlled that game, and a win here tonight will put them in prime position to finish in the top 3. They have one more game coming tomorrow as Stanton Rose bangs a triple. Give him 6 on the night. Costa Rica will have a game tomorrow against Nicaragua. That will be a tough matchup. If you see Nicaragua play this weekend, you know that the man Gerard Ruiz has been an absolute beast on the court. He leads the tournament, averaging 27 points per game. Leads the tournament in efficiency as well. He's a phenomenal player who we'll see play a little later on as Nicaragua will play the hosts El Salvador in our second game of the night. But right now, it's all about Guyana and Costa Rica. Must-win game for Guyana. Costa Rica would love to win this one and put themselves in a good position heading into the final day here in El Salvador, which is tomorrow night. Another turnover there will be Guyana basketball. Here's Stanton Rose, watched by Alvarado. Rose to the corner. Alvarado almost came away with no, it's kept in play. Good hustle by Arias. And then thrown away by Martinez to Delroy James, who barrels down the lane and puts it in. Sometimes basketball is beautiful. Sometimes it looks like that. But if you're Guyana, beauty is in the eye of the beholder there. They came up with 2 points after the end of that sequence. Sheedon inside. Oh, boy. He's been a load so far in this game. That's easy pickings for him. Every time he goes inside, he is 4 points and counting. Cross-court pass. That's Smith for 3. No good. An offensive possession here for Costa Rica. Martinez wanted it, feeling it, jacks it, no good. And James comes around with the rebound. Delroy James already stuffing the stat sheet. And he takes it to the rim. Can't get it to go. Oh, what a follow. Akeem Crandon. The good hustle. Now he has to pay attention defensively. Sheedon. Good ball fake. Can't get it to go, though. And Smith with the rebound. Guyana dodging a bullet there as they were in the home run trot after that last basket by Crandon. James turning the corner. He's fouled, and they'll be side out. 6 turnovers already now for Costa Rica. They're starting to mount up. And we'll have a timeout on the floor as Guyana want to talk. 29-24, Guyana in front. 7:03 to play here in the first half. You're watching the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 pre-qualifiers from El Salvador. Back we are here from El Salvador. It is Guyana in front, 29-24 over Costa Rica. Guyana basketball, we're going this way. Inbound here, and there you see the 5 on the floor for Costa Rica. And the 5 on the floor for Guyana. Here's Adams. He'll tee up a 3. Left it short. He'll follow his own. Tried to save it, but saved it to Sheeden. Problem is, Sheeden's on the other team. Martinez will try to turn the corner. He's fouled on the floor. Okay, Martinez now with 2 steals, 3 points. Reminder, if you're enjoying the action, you can use the hashtag FIBAWC. Join in on the conversation on social media. And, of course, follow at FIBAWC, the official page of the FIBA World Cup. No basket there. A travel on Sheeden. It'll be Guyana basketball. It's a 7th turnover now for Costa Rica. They'll be getting a mound up here for them here in the second quarter. Teron Welsh into the game now for Guyana. First time he steps onto the floor, number 6 in green. Here's James. Mr. Do-It-All for Guyana. The crossover. Tried to find Welsh in the corner, but it was a good steal and good read by K. Martinez, who attacks the rim. He thought he was hammered. So does the Costa Rican bench. No whistle. Play on. And last touch as that ball goes out of bounds. They say last touch by Costa Rica. Now the referees will discuss. And they'll reset the shot clock to 24 for this possession for Guyana. Now Diaz took a shot to the face as he was trying to defend on Boval. James again to the rim. That ball did everything except fall through the hoop. It danced around the rim. It looked like it was going down. But they'll get the official sub in now. Travis Belgrave will check in to the game for Guyana to replace Delroy James. But after that layup attempt, James just walked over to Coach Hercules, said something, and continued walking to the bench, and that brought Belgrave onto the floor. Sheeden. It's too easy. Costa Rica could get that whenever they want. Without Anthony Moe, there's not much size inside for Guyana to really defend at a high level. Crandon is going to have his hands full trying to guard Sheeden. Welsh to Belgrave. Rose. Rose crossing over. Lost control of the ball. It lands, luckily for him, to Boval, whose shot comes up short. And Manrique Alvarado now will initiate the offense the other way. Alvarado's 3 no good. Rebound Davis and kicked back out. They want to go inside to Sheeden again. Sheeden on the ISO on the block. Sheeden forced it up. Can't get it to go. He tips it to himself and gets an offensive rebound. The shot clock goes off, but it shouldn't. It should have been reset back to 14. And the Costa Rican bench arguing that. Let's see what the referees do here. It really should be Costa Rican possession. Sheeden just grabbed the offensive rebound. There was no way that that was 14 seconds between that and the kick out to Manrique Alvarado. So hopefully the officials get it right here. Wow. Well, you saw the official statement there. It is Guyana basketball after the shot clock violation. Well, play on, they say. Here's Rose using the screen. Rose now with a head of steam, crossing over. A foul on the floor. Martinez throws his left hand in disgust. Be side out now for Guyana. Conejo comes back into the game. He replaces Davis. Welsh. The floater. No good there, and Martinez picks up the rebound. Here's Conejo. Conejo's fouled by no shot. It's before the shot. Israel picks up the foul there. Delroy James checks back into the game, replacing Israel. Here's Conejo. Conejo on the hard dribble. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound inside by Sheedon. Daniel Sheedon has 5. So David Sheedon on the floor. He's the big man, number 17 in white. Daniel Sheedon also on the floor for Costa Rica. He's number 9. And he was the one that finished inside that time. James for 3. Indeed! Delroy James with the line drive 3. He now has 11. Martinez, count it! Splashing it through. So now some offense lately after we struggle to get any momentum in this game. Bovo. Count it! Got the friendly roll. And he's talking some junk as he's trotting back defensively. Here's Conejo. The no look to Manrique. Alvarado, his floater is good. They're scoring in bunches now. 34-32, Guyana in front. 3:05 to play here in the second quarter. James for 3. That almost broke the glass. That was a hard shot there. Conejo in front. Blocking foul. And that will send K. Martinez to the line, and the foul will be on James. So K. Martinez, 2 of 6 from the field. He has 6 points. Knocks down that free throw. And this one, you tie the game back at 34, which is good. Victor Arias comes back into the game. David Sheedon will leave, and the front court of Guyana breathe a sigh of relief seeing the big man leave the game. They struggled to keep him in check down low. So both teams going with a smaller lineup. See if we see a little bit more pace to this game now. Another clock issue, which will send the referees to the scores table here. Give us a chance to remind you coming up after this one, we'll see Nicaragua take on El Salvador. And El Salvador coming up with a win last night. Their first here this weekend, beating Guyana in thrilling fashion. Coming back from down 13 at the start of the fourth quarter to win by 2. And dodging a bullet as a three-point attempt at the buzzer did not fall. Martinez goes crashing in and he picks up a foul there. Ronnie Aguilar had a huge night last night for El Salvador. 35 points, 16 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. He was a monster for the hosts. And they'll need that level of production if they want to beat Nicaragua in our second game. Jared Ruiz, we know he could fill it up. He had 26 points against Jamaica yesterday in their win. 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So we know he could get it done. That should be a fun matchup to watch those two a little later on. But right now, it's all about Guyana and Costa Rica. 2:25 remaining here in this first half. Martinez shows it. Oh, good ball fake by Martinez and lays it up and in. He faked the pass out to the three-point line where Arias was standing wide open and then came in for the gorgeous layup. That three on the way, no good by Welsh. He follows his own and puts it up and in. Teron Welsh showing good hustle there. Give Guyana the lead once again. But Welsh fell asleep there defensively. Came up with the block. James surveying the situation. Now crossing over. A little too physical was Arias, and that is going to send James to the line. Not a smart foul by Victor Arias. So with 1:40 to play here in the second quarter, Guyana will be in the bonus the rest of the way. And the way Delroy James has been scoring, you just don't want to put him at the free throw line and give him easy ones, although if he's going to miss them like that, maybe it was a good foul by Costa Rica. James stuck on 11 right now. He's shooting for 12 points, and he gets it. So he goes 1 of 2 from the line that time and gives Guyana a 3-point lead. Here's Alvarado. Martinez. Arias left alone. Conejo. Back to Arias. He has to shoot this. He's wide open. Misses it. Tapped up on the offensive rebound. No good. Bovell pulls it down. James thought about it, and now he'll put it on the deck. Stanton Rose for 3. No good. Good run out there by Arias. Seeing Stanton Rose wide open, made sure that that shot was a little tougher. Here's Conejo. He's hammered, and that will put him at the line for 2 shots. Teron Welsh picks up the foul there. Averaging 12 points, 5 assists here in this tournament. He's 1 of 2 from the line. James pulls down another rebound. He's really stuffing the stat sheet tonight. James driving inside. No foul call, but Rose! Oh! An acrobatic layup by Stanton Rose. He grabbed the offensive glass and still was kind of piggybacking the defender and put it up and in. Alvarado with the floater. No time to celebrate for Guyana as Costa Rica responds quickly. That was a great 2-for-1 opportunity. Rose turning the corner. He'll drive to the basket. Can't finish. And Alvarado with a tough rebound is Conejo. Pushing the basket. Conejo right down the lane. No good. Tapped up. No good right at the rim. And Guyana with a fast break opportunity here. It's James. He'll take a 3. And that's how we'll end the first half. A frantic finish to the first 20 minutes here in San Salvador, El Salvador. Delroy James still arguing about a foul call early on as both teams get set to go to the halftime break. The score, Guyana 41, Costa Rica 39. It's the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 pre-qualifiers here from El Salvador. We'll get a chance to look at the first half stats from what was an eventful first 2 quarters of play. Been a tight contest. So buckle up. Looks like we might have a close finish. We ended the first quarter tied, and now just a 2-point lead for Guyana as we head towards the halftime break. Shooting percentages will be up on your screen here shortly. Free throw line has been kind to Guyana. Shooting 84%, 85% actually from the free throw line. Rebounding battle is about even. Turnovers have hurt Costa Rica. Here are your statistics. You see the 44% from the field for Costa Rica. Guyana really winning it at the foul line, shooting 85%, going to the line 13 times. Reason why they have the 2-point lead. Ball movement. So far, Costa Rica, a little bit more balanced offense. 10 assists early on. They also have the 6 steals. Those 10 assists have been also coupled with unfortunate errors for Costa Rica. They've given the ball up a little too much here in the game. Here you see the leading scorer, Delroy James, with 12 points. He's having a fantastic outing so far. He's 12 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He's lived at the foul line as well, really taking advantage of going to the charity stripe. But the story of the game so far is the turnovers for Costa Rica. 8 turnovers. What could be? What they could have done more with more possession of the basketball there. Guyana, the same thing. 8 turnovers as well. So both teams kind of shooting themselves in the foot there, but they'll look to clean that up and come back for the second half. It's just a 2-point game with plenty of basketball in front of us. Hope you're enjoying it. It is the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 pre-qualifiers right here All right, welcome back here to San Salvador, El Salvador, as we get set for second half action. Guyana taking on Costa Rica. 41-39 is your scoreline in favor of Guyana. Their final game here this weekend for the Guyanese, a must-win situation to try and stay alive here to move to the second round of pre-qualification action for the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023, which will take place in July. Costa Rica's third game, they'll play their final game tomorrow against Nicaragua. They are in a little bit better position, having already won and defeated El Salvador. Guyana is the only team here this weekend without a win, but they do. That's not the way they wanted to start coming out of the half, as Welsh has that squirt through his hands. You saw the 5 on the floor for both teams. If you're just joining us, Costa Rica in the home whites, Guyana in the road green. My name is Carlin Gay. If you want to join in on the conversation, you can use the hashtag FIBAWC on social media. And, of course, follow the official FIBA Basketball World Cup page at FIBAWC. Here's Sheedon for 3. Indeed! That's a good start for Costa Rica. Daniel Sheedon with 8 points. He's 2 for 2 from the land beyond. Chance of defense now coming in from the Costa Rican bench. Rose with a deep 3, no good. Anderson vacuums it in. Arias. He got into foul trouble in the first half. Had to sit for much of it. He has 2 fouls to his name. Caneo! Driving with a purpose there, and he has 5 points now. You don't want to see him going if you're a Costa Rican, or rather a Guyanese supporter. Deep 2 there, knocked down. Score now 44-43. Anderson going to work. Bullying his way to the rim. That's too easy. A reminder, no Anthony Moe inside for Guyana, and it's been tough sledding for the Guyanese bigs. Anderson and Sheedon have had their way inside. Belgrave gave it up. Letfer to the rim. And this second half starting the same way that the game started, really, for Costa Rica. Letfer trying to fire up his team. Guyana came out really lackadaisical in that first period, and they are coming out lackadaisical here out of the halftime break. What a move inside by Letford. Can't finish. And Delroy James with the rebound. See if he can settle things down for Guyana. The handle by Letford. Oh, Delroy James drawing oohs and ahs from the crowd. The handle, the dish. And Belgrave with the finish. Back to a 3-point game. Boy, the Guyana need that. Anderson inside. Great defense by Rose, going straight up and coming away with the deflection that time. Here's Rose. He'll pump fake the 3, get inside. Tough layup over Anderson. Stanton Rose. Give him double figures. So the response by the Guyanese now after the lackadaisical start to the half. Anderson inside. He's blocked. Rose all the way down the floor. And a rejection inside. 2 blocks on both ends. Letford finishes up with the layup. George Letford now has 10. James. Offensive foul. The last thing Guyana needs now is for Delroy James to get into any sort of foul trouble, and he is already there, folks. That was foul number 4. And we have plenty of time to play here in the third quarter. Delroy James will sit, and Guyana will have to create offense without him on the floor. They haven't been successful doing that all tournament long. They need it now. Stanton Rose time if you're Guyana. Here's Letford. The foul on the entry pass. Again, the Costa Rican bigs looking to feast inside. You see the size difference between number 9, Harold Adams, and Jeffney Anderson. Anderson mishandling that pass. It leads to a breakaway opportunity. What a block! That was Arias coming up with the great block. Sheedon, the high arcing shot, no good. Conejo battling inside. He'll stay here. Foul. How long can Guyana weather this storm without their go-to player of Delroy James as he sits on the bench with 4 fouls? And can Costa Rica take advantage? Sheedon driving down the lane. Tough layup and the foul. Daniel Sheedon. My goodness. Israel Yah will check back into the game now for Guyana. He'll replace Boval. And Sheedon completes the 3-point play. It's a 6-point spread. Where does the offense come from if you're Guyana? Stolen away. Conejo lays it in. Again, a big opportunity now for Costa Rica to try and pull away. But Guyana's go-to scorer on the bench. Another steal. Oh! Sheedon throwing it down. And you see the reaction from his bench. 10-point lead, Costa Rica in front, and they're feeling themselves. Timeout on the floor, 5:17 remaining in the third quarter. It's the FIBA Basketball 2023 pre-qualifiers from El Salvador. Well, Delroy James could not sit on the bench for much longer. He's back into the game with 4 fouls. His team down 10 in a must-win situation. A loss here will all but eliminate Guyana from trying to advance to the second round of pre-qualifications here in July. A win keeps them alive. And right now, the momentum is all in the favor of Costa Rica. They have been going crazy here in the last 2 minutes since Delroy James picked up his 4th foul. And there hasn't been much of a response from Guyana yet. Arias with a wild shot. He was looking for a foul. No call coming. Guyana will dribble back the other way. Here's Yah. A 3 on the way. Belgrave, no good. And a rebound pulled down by Sheedon. Daniel Sheedon's come to play. He has 13 points now, 4 rebounds. Threw that in that last dunk that led to a timeout. And here he is open for three. Indeed, Daniel Sheehan has it going on. Give him 16. James. Stolen by Caneo. In the open floor, Caneo to the basket. He's fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. It's unraveling right now for Guyana. A 13-point lead. These 2 free throws could make it a 15-point spread. And one benefit here there for Guyana is there is plenty of time left in this basketball game. 4 minutes to go here in this third quarter. And a whole other quarter left to play. Anything could happen. They saw the reverse happen to them last night. El Salvador was down 13 to Guyana starting the fourth quarter. And El Salvador was able to come back and get a win by 2. Let's see if the Guyanese can be on the right side of a comeback this time around. They're down 13 at the moment with more time on the clock to work with. James to the basket. He's fouled. Goes down hard. Looks like he'll be all right, though. He'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Add to his point total with 2 shots here and chip away at that lead with the clock stopped. Line drive free throw in and out. James came into the game shooting 76% from the free throw line. He's now at 50. Second free throw falls. It's a 12-point game. Guyana needs stops. Inside is Sheehan, who's having a terrific game. The kick. Arias for 3. Too strong. Anderson couldn't get there in time, and a good box out there by Izzy Ya to make sure that that ball goes out of bounds, and Anderson had no shot of keeping it in play. Here's James. He's got to be careful with the 4 fouls. James for 3, indeed. Letford knew he made a mistake leaving James with an opportunity to rise up and fire. Arias inside. Good defense there by James. Again, he has to be careful with those 4 fouls. A steal there by Caneo. He's stealing so many basketballs here. Caneo, the feed inside. Good ball fake and finds Victor Arias for 2. Bovo for 3 from the corner. He was blocked. Conejo to Anderson. Anderson directing traffic. Conejo driving baseline. Sheehan again for 3. Indeed! He's red hot, folks. Daniel Sheehan having a game of his life. James for 3. That hits the front of the rim. Arias pulls it down. He'll wait for the rest of his teammates to... No, he won't. He'll go to the basket. He's rejected by Ya. Izzy Ya with the swat. James inside to Ya. Pounding it home for 2. Great defense on one end by Izzy Ya, and then running the floor right to the rim, and James dropped it off beautifully for him. Then he threw it down. 12-point game. Letford inside Arias. His shot no good. James with another rebound. He has 10 rebounds in the game, 16 and 10. And he was fouled there. Sheehan thought that he used his off arm and it got up around his neck. Sheehan and James arguing. Victor Arias will leave the game in favor of K. Martinez. And a little bit of moisture on the floor after Sheedon was on the deck. They want to make sure they clean that up. Minute 20 to play. Guyana down by 12. They started this quarter, remember, folks, up 2. Delroy James picked up his 4th foul, and it felt like it energized the Costa Rican squad. Davis will check in for Letford. Stanton Rose has been quiet here in the game. He has 10 points, but it hasn't felt like he's made an impact. Here he is on the rock. He'll tee up a 3 and knocks it down right on cue. Stanton Rose looks at his hands saying, come on. That's his 2nd triple. And he could get hot in a hurry. Under a minute to play here in this 3rd quarter. James directing traffic. He wants to go one-on-one. Has to be careful with the 4 fouls. He finds Rose. Good bounce past the corner 3. No good there. And Davis vacuums that in. Here's the hot man, Sheedon. Sheedon open for 3 again. Yeah, finally a miss. Sheedon has been red hot from deep. And he is human, folks. Finally comes up with a miss. James probing. Thought he was fouled, but it's another steal for Costa Rica. Look out down the lane. Oh, my goodness. A hard foul there by Stanton Rose. That's he's doubled over. We'll take the timeout here on the floor. 65-56. Costa Rica in front. And a good sign as K. Martinez is walking back to his bench under his own power. 8 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. 65-56 in favor of Costa Rica. They are leading this 3rd quarter, winning the 3rd quarter, I should say, 26-15. What a 3rd quarter outburst by the Costa Ricans. If you're enjoying this action, you can join in on the conversation online using the hashtag FIBAWC. And of course, follow the official FIBA Basketball World Cup page at FIBAWC on social media. This is the first of 2 games tonight, folks. A big one coming up next. The hosts, El Salvador, will take on Nicaragua. Nicaragua, the only team right now this weekend undefeated. There'll be a lot of support for El Salvador, not only in the arena, but outside of the arena. But I would think that Jamaica, Costa Rica, and Guyana would love to see Nicaragua lose a game to open up the door for more teams or more potential teams to move on to the 2nd round of pre-qualifying. But meanwhile, Guyana in a battle here. They must win this game to stay alive. Give themselves an opportunity to show up in that 2nd window of pre-qualifications in July. The first 3 teams here, 3 of the 5 teams from this weekend, the top 3 teams will make it to the 2nd round. Missed there by K. Martinez. His 2nd free throw is coming up here for him. And he'll make it. 10-point game. Stanton Rose. You'll get a look here as the buzzer expires. Rose, tough shot, can't get it to go. And that's how we'll end the 3rd quarter. What a 3rd quarter it was for Costa Rica. They took charge there in that 3rd period. And they have a 10-point lead to show for it after being down by 2 to start it. Here you see the shooting numbers, 47% from the field for Costa Rica, just 38% from the field for Guyana. They have been getting to the line, 15 free throw attempts. They're converting on 80% of those as the Guyanese. The ball movement been impeccable for Costa Rica so far. 19 assists. Wow. They're getting the job done there. And they've kept the turnovers pretty much in check there in that 3rd quarter. Guyana had not. They have 17 turnovers in the game. They started the quarter with just 8 turnovers. Got it up to 17 so far. Delroy James leading the way for Guyana. Daniel Sheedon, 19 big points. He has been a man possessed so far. 10 minutes away from a finish. Can Guyana battle back? Down 10. We'll find out shortly. You're watching the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 Central American and Caribbean pre-qualifiers from El Salvador. Back we are here for the fourth quarter. It is Costa Rica up 10 over Guyana. Carlin Gay on the call. Glad you could join us here at the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 pre-qualifiers. Costa Rica in the home white, Guyana in the road green uniforms, if you're just joining us. A great third quarter by Costa Rica, taking a 10-point lead into the quarter break. Guyana would love to get a win here to keep their hopes alive of making it to the second round. Of course, there's a foul on a three-point attempt, and that will send Boval to the line for 3 shots. Sheedon doing the fouling there. But Guyana would love to get a win here to keep their hopes alive to move on to the second round of pre- tomorrow night, their final game here this weekend. This is the last game for Guyana here, and they are 0-3 thus far. They would love to leave here with a victory and give themselves a hope of making it to the next stage. Even with the win, they'll still need help from the other teams in the group, but a loss will all but eliminate them. So Boval toes the line, knocks down his free throws. And the lead a little bit more manageable now. Martinez goes glass, can't get it to go. And James with another rebound. Working on a triple-double night. He has 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. But he also has 4 fouls that he has to be careful of. James to the rim! Delroy James. I think he was pointing to his bench there, wanting to sub out, but he'll stay in the game. Final game here for them this weekend. Leave it all on the floor. Guyana in the zone for the first time. See how Costa Rica reacts and attacks. Another turnover there. That was the Sheedons getting a little too cute. Daniel was trying to feed David, and that pass is a little too low for him. Daniel Sheedon checks out of the game. Victor Arias back into the game for Costa Rica. Here's Rose. He'll tee up a 3 and knock it down. Stanton Rose, 16 points. When he had 10, I said he was having a quiet night. He's knocked down 2 threes since and gotten back into business. Sheedon inside, too strong off the glass. His tip is no good. Ball ricochets to James. Of course it does, found James. James on the crossover, driving in. Oh! He went to create a poster, but he got fouled in the action and took a hard spill. Gets up and looks to be okay. That poster would have been hanging up all over Guyanese walls for years to come, had that one been thrown down. They say the foul was on Davis. As James goes to the line, his first free throw is good. And don't look now, but Guyana has slowly battled their way back into this game on a 9-0 run here in the fourth quarter. James ties the game at 66. He has 20. See how Costa Rica now responds to a little adversity. They've not been able to solve this zone, and Guyana content to sit in it. Arias. Open in the corners, Martinez. Got it! That's a three. Alvarado, who's into the game, dished out the assist there. Smart extra pass by him. James for three, answers! Delroy James. Well, we know he's going to leave it all on the floor for his country, for his team. Martinez, same spot. Oh, missed it, but Davis on the follow. Two-point lead, Costa Rica. James wants it. He looks like he feels it. Rhythm dribble. Crossing over. James for three. Can't get it to go, and a rebound there by Arias. There was no ball movement on that offensive possession for Guyana, but sometimes you got to let your go-to player get one up when he's feeling it like that. Oh, what a rejection by Izia. He came over and swatted that bad boy. Here's James again. We'd like to see some movement offensively. This time he does give it up to Rose. Rose wants to screen. They want to go two-man game. He's waiting for Crandon to come screen for him. He's saying going to the left side. Now not a lot of movement. Boval, his two no good. Offensive rebound by Ya. It's going to stay here. And Rose is trying to explain, hey, him and Crandon, both youngsters. Crandon just 20 years of age. And playing in big-time minutes here in a major opportunity for Guyana to pick up a win here at the pre-qualifiers. They've been teetering on one. Can they finally get over the hump there this weekend and get one? James puts it up. No good. Offensive rebound tap. And it falls now to Arias, who has the opportunity to push, but he'll peel back. And he had Sheedon down low. He wanted to go to Sheedon down low. Alvaro sees it. Alvaro crashing into the defense. Arias to the rim. The shot was rejected again by Ya, but the foul was underneath. Israel Ya has been contesting almost everything coming to the rim. He doesn't have the size, but boy, is he a intimidator inside with the swats left and right. That last foul they say underneath by Akeem Crandon. Davis and Sheedon, David Sheedon, check out of the game. Conejo and Jeffney Anderson will check back into the game for Costa Rica. Victor Arias misses the first free throw. And you can hear some support now for the Guyanese. It feels like the locals here in El Salvador have a rooting interest in this game, are rooting for the Guyanese. Crandon with the rebound, and Boval a little out of control, lost possession of the basketball there. Alvarado coming away with the steal. Conejo. Anderson. Alvarado for three. Indeed! Manrique Alvarado knocking down the triple. He has 7. Rose. Skip pass. Boval for 3. Too strong. Ya with the fresh shot clock opportunity for Guyana. James, deep three, no good. And a rebound by Conejo. Under 5 to play in the game. Costa Rica up 5, and Conejo was looking for Martinez, but Martinez was not looking for the basketball, and a turnover for Costa Rica. Well, an opportunity now for Guyana to take advantage of a possession that went awry for Costa Rica. Let's see how they respond on this end. It's James. He hasn't been able to get to the rack lately. The Costa Rican defense now understanding that they got to zone up on him. Rose for 3. In and out. Rose wanting the foul called. He thought he got hit. The referee say play on. Alvarado. Conejo. Arias. Martinez. Skip pass. Alvarado for 3. Indeed! Well, he hit it from the near side of the screen and then went to the outside of the screen, knocked it down. He has 10. 2 triples, both of them coming here in the fourth. Here's James driving. No foul call. 3-on-1 opportunity for Costa Rica. And now Arias pulls it back out. Conejo will wait for Anderson. Arias. The kick. Martinez from the corner. No good. Both teams exhausted here. You could see they're slowing down a little bit here on the court. James will probably be one of the tiredest bodies out there. Boval. Here's James. Probing. James driving. Whistle blows. It's a foul on K. Martinez. 3:08 to play. At what point do you take a timeout and give your team a breather here if you're Coach Hercules for Guyana? Teron Welsh will check back into the game for the Guyanese. He'll replace Boval. In the lane, give him 25. What more can he do? 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists. Knocks down the free throw. We have a game coming down the stretch here, folks. 3 minutes to play in the game. The final game for Guyana. They're down 5. And a steal there by James. Who steps up for the Guyanese? Is it Rose? He'll tee up a 3. Left it short. And Martinez pulls down the rebound. Guyana needs stops. Where will they come from? Costa Rica needs buckets. Where will they come from? Conejo stepped out of bounds. There's a stop that Guyana needed. Now can they convert? The final game for Guyana here this weekend. They don't want to leave here going 0-4. I would love to leave here with a win, but also to keep themselves alive here. James with a 3! 2-point game. 29 and counting for Delroy James. Alvarado looking for help, finds it in Conejo. They go down low. Martinez, watched by James, who has 4 fouls. James, offensive foul! Martinez! And you hear the support in the building for the Guyanese. Martinez now has 4 fouls, and boy, was that a dangerous play. Had that been a block, that would have been it for Delroy James, who I will remind you, he is playing with 4 fouls. They wipe up the moisture on the floor with a minute 51 to play. What a finish we have for you here in Guyana's final game. Tired legs for sure, but the desire to win bigger. James, too strong. And Conejo will dribble back the other way. How will he respond? Anderson. Alvarado has hit 2 threes. He's fouled on the floor. That's only the second team foul here for Guyana with the minute 27. Harold Adams checks into the game for Guyana. George Leffert comes into the game for Costa Rica. K. Martinez will sit. Who will step up and make a big shot for Costa Rica? They need someone. Could it be Isaac Caneo or Victor Arias? Manrique Alvarado, he wants it. He has 2 threes, looking for the third in this quarter. Can't hit that. The rebound by Rose. Stanton Rose, he's hit 2 big-time threes. And many more throughout this weekend. Rose, probing. 5 to shoot. It's Rose. He's going to have to put it up. Does he know it? Throws it up at the rim. No good, and the shot clock goes off. Not the possession they wanted. .48 seconds to play. Whoa. You could hear throughout the arena, get a stop, get a stop. That's what Guyana wants. K. Martinez back into the game for George Ledford. Who comes up big? The rejection at the rim. Going straight up, contesting Arias on the follow. Delroy James, the crowd rising to its feet. James driving, floater. Can't get it to go. Rebound inside. Arias. They have to foul. Martinez in the front court. They got to foul. Martinez dribbling out the clock, and finally a foul on Israel Yah. Boy, that shot by Delroy James. He's been hitting everything all night long. It was in and out. That would have tied the game. Guyana will take timeout. 8 seconds to play. Costa Rica will inbound, try to play keep away from the Guyanese, who are down by 2. Well, a reminder, coming up next, we have Nicaragua and El Salvador in the second game tonight. Nicaragua coming off of a big win over Jamaica. Of course, they beat Costa Rica in the opening game on Thursday. And a win against El Salvador, they'll jump to the top of the table and remain the only undefeated team here this weekend. El Salvador coming off with a big win, an emotional win just last night. They were down 13 to Guyana to start the fourth quarter and battled back and won that game by 2. Ronnie Aguilar was absolutely spectacular. 35 points in that one. Let's see if they can carry over that emotional win to play possibly the best team in the tournament in Nicaragua. But right now, it's all about Guyana and Costa Rica. Costa Rica will inbound the ball. Costa Rica in the white jerseys, Guyanese in the green, road green rather. Guyana has to commit one more foul to go in the penalty. 8 seconds left. The foul cannot come from Delroy James. He has 4 fouls already in the game. And there is the foul, Stanton Rose committing it. Costa Rica calling for an intentional foul as Martinez took a shot. Might have a beef. That Coach Xavier was saying the same thing, trying to protect his players there. So K. Martinez will toe the line with an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game. With just 6 seconds left. Will the door slam shut on Guyana? Or will they crack a window, leave them open for an opportunity to get a win here in El Salvador? Quiet gym for Martinez. And he calmly knocks down the first. What a win this would be for Costa Rica. It would be their second win of the tournament. And it put them in a good spot to make it to the second round of pre-qualifiers. Martinez, the pressure free throw on the way. Offensive rebound. Stolen away. Crandon, they're looking. It's James. He didn't get it off in time. Heartbreak for the Guyanese. They had an opportunity to win the game. Akeem Crandon came away with the steal and froze, and then finally gave it up to James. And James fired the shot. And that's the end of the game. Wow. Costa Rica in a nail biter. 78-75 over Guyana. We'll take a look at the final stats. What a night. What a game. And guess what, folks? We still have one more remaining. El Salvador and Nicaragua coming up soon. So buckle up for that one. That should be fun. Delroy James, the leading scorer of the game. 29 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists for him. Daniel Sheehan was terrific for Costa Rica. 19 big points. And boy, did he catch fire in that third quarter. Was red hot. A thrilling finish. But unfortunately for Guyana, they leave the tournament winless, and that will all but eliminate them from an opportunity to make it to a game. And shout out to Guyana. Now, they showed up in this tournament. Yes, their record will show 0-4, with some thrilling games along the way. As you take a look at the final stats, their fans should be very proud of this team. Their fans should be very proud of the way that they performed here in El Salvador. And I know they showed out watching online or wherever they watched the games and were able to support this team. This is a basketball team on the rise. There is some young talent here involved with Guyanese basketball, and they'll get there. Delroy James, of course, one of the elder statesmen. He is 34 years of age, but you have a lot of talent in Guyana. And you look at Izzy just 19 years of age. Stanton Rose, 21. Akeem Crandon, 20 years of age. Toronto Welsh, just 24. This is a young team. Belgrave, 23. This is a young team that will learn from these types of environments, these types of games, and be better for it down the line. On the other side, Costa Rica with a big win. Give them 2 now in the tournament. That will move them to 5 points. And they have eliminated Guyana from the opportunity to move on to the second round of pre-qualification. So that will do it for this one. 78-75, Costa Rica with the win. Guyana now finished from this tournament. They finished 0-4. Costa Rica now moves to 2-1 with one game remaining That's coming up tomorrow, and a big one for them. They'll be taking on, of course, Nicaragua. Nicaragua and El Salvador coming up next. That should be a fun one, and the gym will be rocking. We'll be here to call it for you. I'm Carlin Gay. We'll see you shortly. Thanks for watching the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 Central American and then Caribbean pre-qualifier action right here from El Salvador.